Hi friends, and welcome back to Coffee with My Sunshine, and welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be working on 3 Christmas DIYs. They are super simple. Let's start with my favorite one. You're going to need some rope, liquid stitch or a hot glue gun, some sort of stencil, and I am using this drop cloth fabric, but you can use whatever you want. I cut my piece to be roughly 24 inches wide and 34 inches tall. You can cut 2 pieces. I only cut one because this is going to be kind of like a bag or a sack. What you want to do is turn it inside out. And you can use this liquid stitch stuff. This is my favorite to use on fabric. But for the top, I'm going to be using my hot glue gun just to speed this video along a little bit because it dries faster. The top part is where I'm going to start hot gluing, and this is where you're going to want to make kind of like a loop because this is where we're going to thread our rope through. So you don't want to glue it all the way down flat. You want the little loop so that you can put the rope through it and feed it through both sides. Then I flip the fabric over so I could do the same thing on the other side. And then for the edges, I planned on using this liquid stitch stuff because this is my absolute favorite because I don't sew. If you sew, this would be super easy to just run through the sewing machine. But then my liquid stitch ran out. So I just quickly grabbed my hot glue gun and I'm going to run it along both sides, like right along the edge, as close to the edge as you can get. Don't burn yourself. I burned myself so many times in this video. And then as you're gluing, once you get up to the top part where we made the little loop for the rope, don't glue that part. Leave that open. You want it to be like a little flap. And then do the same thing on the other side. And I actually got the inspiration for this it's like a gift sack from ones that I saw at Michael's. They're like huge. You can put tons of presents in them, and I think they were called like Santa mail or something. So after you have it all glued and it's dry and cooled, flip it right side out. You're going to want to push the edges out and stuff. Can you tell how big this thing is? I think I said 24 inches by 34 inches. And then I'm using this rope. I think I got it at Michael's, but you could use rope from the Dollar Tree or ribbon, anything you want to use. But I am just gluing the tiniest little edge of the rope onto this little dowel stick, just so it's easier to push the rope through. If you don't have that, you can attach it to like a wire or something like that, or a pencil, and just kind of wiggle it through. And then I did the same thing with the other side. And then you can just unglue the rope from the stick. I just did a very small little piece. And then this is where you can cinch it. But I cut mine to the same length, and then I'm going to be adding some beads. This isn't necessary. You could just go ahead and tie it off and like fray the edges just to give it a little bit of, I don't know, texture and fun. But I am taping off the edges of the rope so that I can thread them through the beads. And these beads are from craftparts.com. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I can't remember, but they have some really good wood pieces for awesome prices. And I ended up just doing 2 beads and then just knotted it This is such a simple DIY, but so cute for even if you don't use it like as a real present sack or present bag, it would be really cute decor sitting on like a fireplace or anything like that. So after you're done with the little tassels, I'm going to be using this Merry Christmas stencil. Use whatever you have. This I think came from Walmart last year. And I like to tape off the edges of my stencils just so it doesn't move on me. And you want to make sure the fabric is flat. Because if there's like wrinkles and bubbles and stuff, that will make it easier for the paint to bleed through. So I'm using a sponge. I just find that easier to control when I'm using stencils rather than a paintbrush. And I wet the sponge and just get a little bit of the paint on the sponge and just keep dabbing. To me, it's just easier to do it in light layers. And I didn't have like a rusty or maroon color red, so I just took some red and brown and mixed them together because I wanted this to kind of have like a rustic or like vintage look. And then I just went over all of Merry Christmas. I should have mentioned this before, I do have a board in the bag. That way it doesn't bleed through to the other side of the fabric. That's why I didn't do the whole word Merry up there because I had to move the board. But I wanted to finish the letters that the board was under. So I want to ask you guys a favor. When you guys are done and sick and tired of watching Christmas videos, let me know. That way I can kind of change it up and do what you guys would like to see. And then after Merry Christmas, I'm just doing the berries in that same red color, and I mixed green and brown just to make more of like a, I don't know, a real looking green, like a natural green, rather than the bright green that I had. And then this is my favorite part, the reveal. I like how it turned out, except that little spot. I kind of went over with the sponge, but that's fine. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. There's my dog Bella. She wanted to be in the picture. But I love this present bag because it's so huge and it's just perfect. I think it's super like vintage and I don't know, festive. For this next one, I am just going to be using a coffee can and this fabric and some Elmer's glue. And since I haven't been able to do my trash to treasure videos lately, I thought I would throw this in there. So I just stripped off the label from the coffee can and then cut the fabric to the size that I wanted. And I'm just going to be using Elmer's glue. You can use Mod Podge if you have it. I just had the glue right here, so it works just as well. And I wanted to use a coffee can because I like the little ridges. I might redo it because I want the ridges to show up a little bit better and I didn't push the fabric down, tight enough into the little grooves. And I apologize for the lighting. So I just took the glue and went over the whole thing and then grabbed a paintbrush to smooth it out because I didn't want lumps and bumps under the fabric. So are you guys still liking the trash to treasure type videos where I use like actual trash and garbage and recyclable items and turn it into like crafts and stuff like that? Let me know. I know I haven't done them in quite a while. Just been working a lot over on my other channel. I've been doing a bunch of Christmas decorate with me videos. So if you're into that kind of thing, I will have my channel listed up in the cards and also in the description box. And my other channel is Life, Love, and Endless Laundry. I actually did a kitchen and dining room Christmas decorate with me video today. And then I'm just cutting the excess fabric off and then just gluing down the edge. And for the bottom, I just cut slits in the fabric just so it was easier to fold down without getting, you know, like folds and stuff in the fabric. And then I used a little bit of both of the glues. The hot glue gun just worked great for holding it down right away. And I don't know if you can see the glue. It was still wet, but once the clear glue dries, you won't be able to see those spots. So then I am taking a piece of this rope, and I got this rope from burlapfabrics.com. I will link their website in my description box. That's where I get my burlap and some of my fabrics and twine and stuff like that. So be sure to check them out if you're in need of that kind of thing. I was having a hard time because I was trying to use the hot glue gun with my left hand and I am not left-handed. So I just wanted the edges just to look a little bit more finished. That's why I'm putting this rope on there. You definitely don't have to. And plus I love that green color. You could use ribbon. You can use ribbon to like hang over the edge of the can and also to wrap around your Christmas tree if you want. I just like how it kind of like, I don't know, peeked over. And this is what it looks like all finished. I think it's super happy and bright, and it looks great with the bag too. For this next one, I am taking a Dollar Tree Christmas tree, some of their little extra pieces, and some picks. And I'm going to be making, what is it called? Swag. Somebody had asked me to do swag for their mailbox. I think this would look great on their mailbox. You could really use this under, you know, your outdoor lights. I wouldn't use hot glue if you're using it outdoors, but this I'm just going to be hanging on a sled that I made for decor right next to my fireplace. So anyway, you take the Dollar Tree tree and you kind of fluff it out, make sure it's flat on one side, and it's going to be upside down. You're not going to use it as a tree. And I got the inspiration for this from, I believe it was Kristen Kay. I think it was because she did like a Christmas tree or a Dollar Tree Christmas tree hack video, and where she like transformed the trees into like wreaths and stuff like that. It really was an awesome video, but I got the idea from her to do this. And then after you get it all fluffed up like you want, you just add in your little picks just to fill it out a little bit more and give it different textures with like the different pine needles and stuff. And then you can fill in the empty spaces with those little, I don't even know what they're called, those little filler pieces from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm also adding some berries just to give it some color. And then I am taking some more of those strips just to cover up the base of what was the Christmas tree base. And you can use any type of bow for the top. I'm going to be using this and a bow that I attempted to make. I am not good at bows at all. You'll see that in a minute. But I wanted to add a little bit more greenery just to give it more texture and a little bit of different colors going on. And here's the bow I made. I mean, I'm horrible at bows, but I used hot glue and just kind of, I don't know, folded some pieces. And because it did not look good, I'm going to be adding this other bow that I got from Walmart. I believe it was like 95 cents or something. And I'm just going to glue it on top of the bow that I made. And here it is, just hanging from the sled that I made. I can link that video in my description box if you guys would like to learn how to make this little sled. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for all your love and support. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!